doing well. We're Wednesday, the 24th of August 2022. We've had a really good 48 hours on the trial. So far, everything's worked perfectly, and that's wonderful. Today's signals, it will depend on risk on, risk off. One of the signals that we have, the trade of the day, it does require some risk on, and the max bubbles will require risk off. So we're sort of hedged. So personally, I'm going to go for the max bubbles because we can see on the 24-hour difference we're risk off, and that's quite a big shift on the big picture. The big picture is that we are risk on at -9. So every one person buying, there's nearly 10 people selling indices. However, this is quite a big shift, and that's quite a sizable move from the retail guys. And if they continue to do that on a daily basis, it's going to chip away at the big picture, and then we'll be risk off again. So I think today I'm going to favour a risk off sort of mood, and I'm probably going to go for the max bubble signal today. But we'll see how we go. And yields rose, so that's risk off, and the yield curve is out of bonk, and we've got a big inversion going on here. The 2-year is more than the 30-year, so that's quite scary. Okay, and VIX is really pumped as well. VIX is at 24, so that's quite scary. Now German 30, now we're flipped over to sell at the big picture. So we're plus, we're positive, we've got a positive number, so it tells us that they're net long. And likewise, you can see pound USD, they're net long, so price is falling, so it should indicate that price is going to fall for German 30. Pound yen, sell. France 40, it's quite a big shift. US 30 is a big shift. Oil is a massive shift, fall buy. Right, so they sold oil. I'm not really sure why. They're probably reading a lot of the news, but that's a huge shift from last week. So I think maybe risk off. If we do rally today, we have to remember the big picture. The big picture is that there's still 9 people short, so they are going to get squished. But whether or not this is going to be, that'll be the key metrics, the 24-hour difference. This is dynamic, this is static. Normally dynamic's pretty powerful. So I have to wait and see. There's the movement from last week. So dollar was on the rampage. Euro USD is the weakest. Dollar Swiss is the strongest. So there's that little bit of Swiss weakness that we identified yesterday on our signals and our trade of the day. And it was a good day yesterday. I was quite happy about that. So this is from last Wednesday. Yeah, that's wrong. I need to do this. I should probably double check things before I make the video. But basically, this data rolls over. It doesn't reset on Sunday. It just simply rolls over. So it examines where we are compared to a week ago. So it's quite straightforward. View. And yeah, so that's that. Trade of the day went out at 7:08, and this will require risk on. So we might go risk on. It's hard to say. No one really knows for sure, and that's the tricky thing. VIX is pumped, yields rose. The retail guys are going long, so we should be risk off. But it's hard to say, isn't it? Something might come out on the news, and then it'll just flip. It'll just skew things. And don't forget that Jackson Hole is potentially going to be risk off, so it might be leading up to the risk off event on Friday. So today we could be potentially on and then ready to dump on Friday, if that makes sense. If we dump now, then we dump again on Friday. That's going to be more unusual than a risk on than a dump. So they want to try and anticipate the future move. So it could be like anticipating Friday. So if we do go risk on, it might be indicating that we're going to sell off quite heavily on Friday. So we have to remember where things not only are, but where they've come from. Now look at DAX. We were here, then here, then here, and now we're over here. So tomorrow if we're over here, then that's going to be more of a sell over time. Okay, so be careful, right? So they've gone long, price fell. They went long, price fell. They went long. It suggests that price is going to fall, or these guys get paid. Okay, so be careful. Went long, went long, gone long. So maybe it's going to be a little bit of payday if we come up, of course. Yeah, sold. And now we tipped over the big picture to sell here. And the hexagon is a what if scenario. So if they sell it, it will flip the static nature back. So we're 52%. If they sell it, we'll go below 50% and it will be a buy. So DAX is going to be tricky. It could potentially chop a lot on the 50%. Gold, they've gone long. So, you know, price falls. And they shorted it, price went up. That's from yesterday. I said it was going to be a risky buy. And I placed a hexagon and we did come up. So that was quite good. And they've gone long, so price should fall. Today's liquidity targets. Now, the one on yesterday, the one below was targeted because it was at parity and it took them out by their spread. And it's unfortunate for those guys. They're not using a zero spread broker. The IC markets is zero spread, and you might have been okay, but a lot of conventional brokers would have taken you out at the round number. So there is a IC Markets affiliate link if you want to use it at the bottom of this document. I'd recommend to use the IC Markets. They're pretty good and their customer support is amazing as well. AU is the largest stop loss cluster. However, it was above yesterday and now it's below. So it switched and obviously took stops out. And the one below is 68.90. The size is 3.64. I don't know why that's the largest stop loss cluster. That pair always has the largest stop loss clusters. I've got no idea why. It might be because IC Market. Oh no, I don't know. I've got no idea. I was going to say it's IC Markets is Australian, but that's got nothing to do with it. I've no idea why. It's very weird, but that's what it is. It is what it is, I guess. 1st September, the Quasidb code is going to be 10% discount. So the Pro license is going to cost you $31. If you get it in now, an annual plan, it's going to cost you $10 a month. So it's a big saving. It's up to you what you want to do. It's, you know, if you want to spend 31 or do you want to spend 10. The Pro license is absolutely amazing. I use it every single day. And fairly rate's quite rubbish. You'd want that a bit higher. Euro is paying the crowd. They're paying. Also pound is also paying the crowd as well. So I'd want that much higher before I enter. I'd want that about 70%. It's a bit low at the moment. It's a bit of a gamble. If you think about going to a roulette table, you've got 50-50 odds, haven't you, really? It's red, black or green. And this is just slightly better than roulette. So be careful. I'm going to wait, I think, for this to get a little bit higher because it looks like the trap's still being placed. Dollar Swiss, it was okay. And I think what we're going to be doing next week is we're going to be looking at the max bubbles. And we're going to incorporate those into the profit and loss because the max bubbles have been absolutely amazing with an incredibly high hit rate. I think maybe we had one bad trade in 2 weeks or something like that, which is pretty amazing. They go out every single day. And there's our total. So we're doing well. So really, we don't really have to change the old logic. It's just that we have a false message and it can be quite infuriating. However, the max bubbles, they've got a greater longevity and they sort of tide us through till the close, where this can probably chop on and off and the way that it's designed. So it's my algo and it could probably, it's a bit too stringent maybe on its exit. And with the max bubbles, it allows the signal to breathe. So we're going to have a look at the max bubbles next week, I think. And quite a lot of extremes. So we're potentially going to get signals today. However, the sentiment has to line up in order to get the notification. Economic calendar. So we've got durable goods. That's normally quite a big mover. And we've got some Kiwi data out. And then we've got the Jackson Hole, which starts Thursday. And Then obviously the speech on Friday is all eyes on that, and we've got some data which no doubt Powell will be watching quite keenly. And the US data wasn't so good yesterday, so you might have seen the big move in the dollar yen. That was actually a really awesome dip buy if you caught that. It bounced off the daily support 3 and it discontinued. So if you use your pivots, then you got your levels. So try and get your pivots on your chart. And that's it. So keep calm, always trade safely. Here's my IC Markets link. If you use that, you get access to everything on Discord and spreadsheet. And as long as you're using it as your main trading account, then that's fine. And I need to see activity on that particular account. If you don't use it for a period of time, I'll just have to remove you. And then you just have to subscribe on Patreon. That's it. So have a great day. And hopefully it's clear. We're probably going to be potentially risk off today. And so I'm going to favour the max bubble logic. See, they're going long. So normally what happens is that they do get punished. However, technically we might be okay. We might have some support. If you look at a daily chart or weekly chart, we might have had some support. So bit tricky, so just remember to trade safely. Know your exit at all times as well. I can't stress that enough. And if you get stopped out, don't worry about it. Just come back, with a fresh attitude and get a better entry. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.